Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Living the Dream podcast. My name is Caitlin, and I'm your host. And this is episode 5, which is insane. I started this just in December, so super happy to be here. I was going to do a lot more of guest episodes and things like that, but I think I'm going to sprinkle in some solo episodes sometimes too, because sometimes I just have a lot to say, So anyways, here we are. It's been about 3 weeks since the last episode. If you have not listened to episodes 1, 2, 3, or 4, go check those out. I have a couple solo episodes and then I have a couple with guests. So make sure you check those out. And yeah, I'm really excited. I have a good topic today. First of all, let me just recap. I want to post episodes every 2 weeks. However, the last few weeks have been extremely busy for me. I record in my basement, if you're not aware, and right now I'm looking out at 30 pairs of custom shoes that I've been working on, and these shoes were very detailed, and I came home from work every single day and worked on these and worked on them for hours and hours on the weekend. So that has been taking up a lot of my time, plus just other regular orders that I've been getting with my business. And then on top of that, I'm starting a new job tomorrow as well, which is very exciting. I'm so excited. It's still at my current workplace, just a different position, but I have been in my previous position. I had been in it for almost 6 years. So this will be a bit of an adjustment. So yeah, I've just been very busy, but today I've had like the most productive day, and it's like almost 9:30 p.m. and I'm like, I'm going to record this episode because I know this week I will not have time to do it, and I want to get one out because I set the goal to, which takes us into today's topic, which is going to be all about goal setting, how I set goals, how I stay organized, how I motivate myself. I feel like a lot of my friends ask me how I juggle doing a podcast and running a business and working full time and owning a home and keeping a social life. Not that I have a huge social life, but spending time with family, friends, things like that, and just balancing everything, and how I just stay motivated and keep going. Now, I will just throw a disclaimer. I am not the most motivated person in the world, and I am not the most successful person ever. There's still a lot of work that I have to do. However, I feel like over the last few years, I've really found what works very well for me in terms of setting goals, staying disciplined, and just kind of motivating myself. And I feel like whenever I share these things with people, they're very intrigued. So I wanted to just do an episode about this. And with starting a new job and everything, I just thought it would be a good time to do this. So I'm very excited. This is a really, really good topic. I love goal setting. Literally with anything that I do, I'm setting goals, whether it's with my religion, with my job, with my business, with my podcast, with my personal physical and mental health, literally anything, I'm setting goals. And I thought, it being now March, we're a couple months into the year, people are probably not thinking about their New Year's resolutions anymore, but I wanted to just take this as a moment to reflect on whatever goals you set at the beginning of the year. The first quarter's almost done, so I think this is a good time to just reevaluate everything and reset and get on track for the rest of the year, because it's always good to check in, So, jumping in, goal setting. So what I do for goal setting is I try to write down a yearly list of goals, and I categorize everything. I do a category for my business, for my podcast, my physical health, my mental health, my job. I put everything into categories and what I want to achieve for the full year. I make these then broken down into monthly goals. And I put these into monthly goals. Obviously, we want to make them SMART goals. If you haven't heard of SMART goals, we'll get into that. So I do yearly goals, break them down into monthly goals, and then I'll kind of explain how I do that. So when I do my yearly goals, I really try to set a very high goal, maybe something that is going to push me outside of my comfort zone. Not because I don't want to achieve that goal, but because I want to push myself to get there. So what I mean by that is, let's say podcasting, for example. Last year I started this in December. I think I put out one episode in December, and then I wanted to come up with a consistent routine, but I knew things would come up along the way. However, saying, okay, I want to post 2 episodes a month, that's 24 episodes a year. I might say, I'm going to aim to post 30 episodes this year. Yeah, that's a little bit more than 2 a month, but it will push me, and I want to achieve that goal. And there might be a month where I have, a couple weeks where I have guests, or I have, I want to do a solo episode in between having guests, whatever it is. Just being able to have those stretch goals is what I would probably say they are. Just having the opportunity to really push myself. That's what I try to do with my goals. There's going to be months that are up and down as well. So with my business, for example, if I take my yearly goal of the amount of sales I want to do and I break that down into 12 months, I'll tell you right now, in February, I didn't hit that goal. However, there's going to be months, probably November, December, that I'm going to far exceed my monthly goal. So it's okay for me to kind of miss on one month because I'm still in the running, I guess, if that makes sense, to get my yearly goal. So with all that being said, when I make these goals, I try to set something that is out of my comfort zone and that's going to push me to work really hard. That's just how I function. I don't want to do something. I'm not going to say, all right, I want to post 1 episode a month because I know I'm going to hit that. I need to do something that's going to push me, make me work harder, and just get it done. So when I make my goals, if you've heard about SMART goals, it's a very good way, very smart, see what I did there? Way to set your goals. So if you're unaware of what SMART goals are, just really quick, it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely. So you want to set your goals within those parameters. You can't just say, I'm going to meditate. Okay, well, how long are you going to meditate? How often are you going to meditate? Do you know what I mean? So you have to say, I'm going to meditate once a day, 5 times a week for 15 minutes. That's very specific. You can measure it. It's very achievable because you can build that time out in your day. It's realistic and it's timely. You can get things done. So try to think of your goals in SMART goals. And I don't necessarily do my yearly goal as SMART goals, like that specific. But when I break them down further into my monthly goals, that's when they become much more specific. So when you're talking about goals, there's 3 components to it. You have your vision. The vision is the why. Why do you want to achieve this goal? If I'm saying, okay, I want to work out 5 days a week, why do I want to do that? Because I want to stay healthy. If you have a good why and a good reasoning behind why you're going to achieve this goal or why you want to achieve this goal, it's going to motivate you when things get tough. So your why is something that's probably not going to change very often, but it's supposed to be there to inspire you, to push you, to motivate you. And that's something that you should, first of all, have in your mind, because if you don't have a reason for why you want to achieve this, you're not going to become motivated to keep going, especially when things get a little bit more tough, it's March now, when you're kind of like, I don't need to go to the gym, I'll do it tomorrow, whatever. Think about why you started and get yourself back on track. The second part to setting goals is the actual goals, the what. So what are you trying to achieve? This is what's going to help guide you in reaching your why and getting to your vision and succeeding in reaching these goals. And then the third part is the strategy, and that's the how. So that's where the SMART goals come in. How are you going to achieve this goal? If your goal is to meditate more because your vision is you want to have better mental health, your strategy needs to be, how are you going to do this? Are you going to do this 3 days a week, 5 days a week, an hour a day, 15 minutes a day? So you want to have your vision, your goals, your strategy, your why, your what, and your how. So think about those things before you're setting your goals. If you had goals from January, February, whatever it is, try to reevaluate. Make sure that you have your vision, the actual goal, and then how you're going to achieve it before you even start moving towards getting to those goals. So I hope that makes sense. The last thing I'll say about this specifically is, with your goals, make sure you display them somewhere. Write them down, put them on your fridge, put them on your background on your phone, whatever you need to do, because if you see them every day, you're going to stay motivated and you're going to want to keep pushing towards those goals. So the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is my best practices and how I achieve my goals. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, I apologize. I feel like I'm really talking with my hands a lot today, but again, this is something I'm very passionate about. So I'm really getting into it. So some of my best practices for goal setting, achieving goals is, first of all, planning things out. Of course, I just said I do my monthly goals, but I also break these down into weekly goals. So if I have a monthly goal of hitting, let's say, 25 workouts, how many do I need to do per week to achieve that goal? So every Sunday, usually, sometimes it's on Monday if I don't get to it on Sundays, I will go through, I fill out my planner, and I have my planner right here because this is where I wrote down all my notes for this episode. I go through my planner and I plan everything out for the week. So a big thing for me is coming up with my content for the week, because not only am I doing my business content and running my Instagram, my TikTok, things like that, but also my podcast content. So I'm trying to stay up with what content I need to post, when I should post. I try to not do things on the same day, but then I also have other things going on that might prevent me from being too busy to post on, let's say, a Monday. So I don't want to put a lot on my plate for that Monday if I have other things going on that's going to prevent me from posting. So I go through my planner. I kind of think about everything that I need to post and when I'm going to post, and just the other things I need to get done. I'm taking a few classes right now. So if I have homework or I know I'm going to have class that night, I won't schedule a ton of content to do, or I won't schedule to edit the podcast when I have class, or whatever it is. So I go through my planner and I fill everything out. I will tell you, my planner she is my saving grace, okay? My planner is the perfect planner, and I'll just show you really quick if you're watching. This planner, completely customizable, and it's from Plum Paper. I wish they would sponsor me, but this is not sponsored. So I'll just kind of show you. Hopefully this will focus, maybe, I don't know. But basically, up here, I have goals, gratitude, affirmations. These boxes were all something that I customized. And this is for one day, by the way. I have a full layout of the hourly. And then these are really important to me. I have a to die for section and a living the dream section. And then I also have a to-do list over here as well. So every day, let me back up. So every week when I go through and I'm filling out my content or my schedule or orders that need to get done, I will go through each day in this planner and fill in, okay, to die for. I'm going to do an Instagram post on Monday. Then I'll flip the page. Living the dream. I'm going to do a TikTok on Tuesday. I'm going to do a TikTok Wednesday for to die for. And I fill all that in. And then I also go through and put, okay, Monday I have class. I put that on the schedule part of the calendar. My to-do list. Do I need to go grocery shopping? So I literally plan out my whole week, whether it's achieving my goals or just staying planned. That's how I do it. This planner is absolutely amazing. And I also, at the beginning of every month, it has this page that allows you to just kind of like write whatever. So I always try to put goals up here as well. Sorry if you're not watching on YouTube, but it just has a page at the front that I can write what my monthly goals are. Aside from that, I have a separate little goals planner, and I should have brought that down here, but basically with my goals planner, it's just like a little notebook, and it has a monthly section. You write out like what your main goal is for that month, and then it gives you a space to break that down further and say, okay, how do you want to achieve this? So let's say my monthly goal is grow my business and podcast social medias. So then I can go through and break it down and put it into mini goals and say, it's like, how can you do this? And I'll say, well, I'm going to post 3 times a week on Instagram, 2 times a week on TikTok. How can you do that? Well, I'm going to come up with my content plan every week, or I need to think of new content ideas. So it really breaks everything down, and you do that at the beginning of the month, and then every week you fill out what your goal for that week is, steps you're going to take to achieve it, and then it also has like a little reflection section of like what challenges you might face, how you're going to achieve it. So it's really, really nice. And then at the end of the week, it also has one to say, how'd you do on your goal this week? Where did you struggle? Where can you be better? Just different things like that. It's amazing. And then it has a end of the month like reflection thing as well. That's also from Plum Paper. I think it's actually called like Goals Planner on Plum Paper, but that really helps a lot. So I'm a big planner. I love planning. I do it every day, week, month, year. So that would be my number one thing, is plan everything out. Number 2 is I keep a goals spreadsheet, and this helps me quantify my goals. So some goals that people may set might not be very measurable, but having a spreadsheet makes you make it measurable, if that makes sense. Like if I put everything into a spreadsheet, how I basically do it is when I go through and make my yearly goal. So I have a column that says the goal. I have a column that says what category that goal falls into. So, I have it all on one page, and I'll say workout 5 days a week. That's in the personal category. I have post 2 podcast episodes per month, or post 25 episodes for the year. That goes in the podcast category. So I keep them categorized, and then I put what the yearly goal is in the next column. And then every month I go through and I keep track of where I'm at with that goal. And I just highlight in those boxes colors: green if I hit the goal, yellow if I was just a little bit short, red if I was not close at all. So that helps me have more of a visual, but it's a good reflection, and it's a good way to make things quantifiable or measurable with your goals, and just really helps you break them down. So I do that as well. And then, like I said, I really break my goals down. So I have a big goal. I break that down to smaller goals, and then I break that down to different attainable tasks. And then that's where doing those small tasks gives me that instant gratification, if you know what I mean. Like, how when you check something off your to-do list. That's how I feel when I get a little bit closer to my goal. If you break your goals down smaller and smaller and smaller into these little tasks, every time you do something to check that task box, you're going to feel amazing. So I would say just break your goals down as much as you can. Put them all the way down into tasks. Like I said, I do mine into literally daily things. If my goal is to post, let's say 3 times a week, I will literally put that into daily to-dos of make an Instagram post Monday, make a TikTok Tuesday. Like, I break everything down, use spreadsheets, I use my planner. That's the gist of it. I will also say time management is a big thing. I have become a very good time management master. I don't want to say master, but I'm really good at time management. Like I said, I've had a very productive day today, and it's going on 10 o'clock right now, and I'm getting this podcast in because I've come to realize the things that I always think are going to take me so long don't actually take me that long. I'll be like, I need to clean my house, and I think it's going to take me like 5 hours. It literally takes me an hour and a half. So I've become very good at time management, and that's what I love about my planner is it has that daily breakdown where it goes hour by hour. So let's say it's the weekend. I can put in there, okay, I'm going to run errands from 10 to 12. When I get home, I will, work on orders from 12:30 to 2 o'clock. And then I'm going to edit the podcast from 2 to 3. And I just stay on that schedule. And I also allow myself some buffer time. But having good time management only helps me so much more. Like I said, when I plan out my week, I think ahead of what things I have going on for the week. So if I have class or I know I'm going to have to edit or whatever it is, I don't fill up that day trying to do 1,000 things. Like, I really think things through about when am I going to be able to achieve this task, and that's how I plan out my week in order to achieve my end of the week goal or end of the month goal. The last thing that I will say about goal setting, and something that I have learned a lot, is to give yourself grace. You have to know yourself and know when to slow down and take a break. A good example is a few weeks ago, I was feeling like, okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to work on these shoes until midnight. I'm going to crank them out. I'm going to finish them up. Then I'm trying to plan everything out so I can get this big order done. And I had a really long day at work. I got home and I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to stay up that late. So I didn't. And it's okay. And also with this podcast, like, this is a great example. Last week, I was supposed to put an episode out, and I was trying to get this order done, and I had been working very, very hard on this order, and I was like, I'm not going to stress myself out trying to get this episode out. Like, I'm just not going to do it. I have come to really know myself and my body and what I am capable of. And if I know that I want to work on this order to make sure that that gets done over, postponing an episode for a week, it's fine. Give yourself grace, understand, slow down, and just really know yourself so that you know when you need a break. Because if you don't, you're going to burn yourself out, and then that's really not going to make you motivated to achieve any of your goals. And that's probably where a lot of people fall off with their New Year's resolutions, because they try to go so hard in January and then they become burnt out because it's too overwhelming. So ease into it, but also just know yourself and give yourself grace. Slow down. I'm not saying be lazy, take breaks, all this, but know yourself, know what you're capable of. And if you're not able to get to a certain task or a goal, set a plan for when you're going to achieve it. So, for example, last week when I was like, I'm not going to get to a podcast episode this week, I was like, I'm going to do it by next week. I made a plan to do it this week, and I'm sticking to it. Yes, it's 10 o'clock p.m., but I want to get this episode out, and that's the goal that I set for myself. So I'm going to do that. So I would just like slow down, give yourself grace, and just know yourself. Like that's the ultimate thing, is really learn what you're capable of. Don't burn yourself out. The last thing I want to touch on really quick is just about self-discipline and motivation. I feel like people ask me a lot how I just go, 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 go. Trust me, I have my days. I'm not, Wonder Woman over here. I have my days where I'm really not feeling it, or I really just want to lay in bed all day. And sometimes I do lay in bed. I mean, not all day, but sometimes I do stay in bed a little bit longer than I should. But again, taking things step by step and really just breaking your goals down helps to not make them so overwhelming. That's something that I have come to realize, is if I set too big of a goal, it just overwhelms me and I don't want to do it. Like if my goal this weekend is to deep clean my house, all I'm thinking about is, okay, now I have to vacuum, I have to dust, I have to wipe everything down, I have to do the dishes, I have to do the laundry, I have to fold the laundry. That becomes so overwhelming and chaotic to me. I'll lay in bed the first half of the day. I don't want to do anything. So break everything down and go, okay, I'll, get up, do the dishes and vacuum, and then I'll go run some errands. And then when I come back, I can do the laundry, whatever it is, but break things down to not make them so overwhelming and just stick to your plan. Also, telling other people your plan or just having accountability and support, that helps a lot, because when I last week was like, I'm not going to get this podcast episode in, I put it on Instagram. I don't know if anybody cares, but I was like, you guys hold me accountable to this. I want to get an episode out by next week. And I know that there will be people at work that will go, Caitlin, when's your episode coming out? And I don't want to have to be the one that always seems like they're making excuses or they're flaking on their word. So again, that's why I'm recording right now. But if you're telling people what your plan is, it's going to make you more motivated to want to get that done. I will tell people all the time, oh yeah, I'm going to, record this episode. And if people are counting on that, they're counting on that. Or if I have an order to do and I say, I'm going to have it done by this day, I'm not going to keep pushing it off and pushing it off, because that person is counting on me and I want to be reliable. So have people hold you accountable and just have a good support system surrounding you, because that will help a lot. The other thing I will say about staying disciplined is going back to what your why is and what your vision for wanting to reach this goal is. Keep that in the back of your mind, whether it's monetary, whether it's just self-fulfilling, whatever it is. Think about why you started. I know it sounds so cliche, but that will really help you get to where you want to be. And it will help you on the days that you're not feeling it. I will sit here and, not want to get out of bed in the morning, or I'm just like, I can take a day off. I can do all this tomorrow, whatever. But knowing that I'm going to get X, Y, and Z done in the day and achieve these goals is going to make me feel so much better at the end of the day. And it's going to reinforce why I'm doing this. No matter what it is, whether it's something big or small, whatever goal I set out to achieve, I'm thinking about, why do I need to get this done? Why do I want to get this done? And that helps me get to my end result. So just to kind of wrap up, I know this was a little bit of a quicker episode, but I just thought this was a good topic to kind of touch on with being a few months into the year, and just kind of talking about goal setting, getting back out there, reevaluating your goals. I think it's a good time to do that, especially with the first quarter almost being done. I don't know if you guys think about things in like quarter of the year or how you do it, but that's kind of how I do it. So, we're in March now. Let's make this a good month. Reevaluate your goals, go through, break them down by month, break those down by week, make them into achievable tasks. Think about why you want to achieve those goals and how you are going to achieve them. Display them. Have somebody hold you accountable and plan things out according to whatever your schedule is, whatever you have going on, and help hold yourself accountable to reaching those goals. Challenge yourself to reevaluate your goals this week. If you want to DM me and send me some of your goals, feel free. I would love to talk with you guys about what your goals are, how you're doing on your goals. I love talking about stuff like this. I love to help motivate and inspire people. So DM me if you want to chat about it, or if you have questions, please feel free. All of the information is in the link below in the description. And it's okay to change your goals. If you need to change your goals because you're not achieving them, or you reevaluate and you're like, I don't think this is attainable anymore. Maybe something happened. Maybe something has changed in your life. It's okay to change them. Just reevaluate and think about, okay, if this didn't work, why didn't it work? How can I help this to work this time around? And if something did work, think about the ways that you achieve that goal to make it work, and reinforce that with your other goals. So I just want to encourage you guys, reevaluate your goals. Do what you need to do to set some new goals for this month, for next month, whatever you need to do. But I just really want to encourage everybody to set good, achievable goals. Get out there, live your dream. Please help me continue living mine. Share this podcast with somebody. Send it to your friends, your family, your best friend, your cousin, your brother, whoever it is. Send it to them. Help them achieve their goals too. But also, if you guys can, go follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Information is in the description below. I really want to grow my social pages, not only for my podcast, but for my business as well. And with my business, I'm going to be posting a lot of content about this big shoe order I just did, and they look so good, you guys, I promise. So go follow, share this podcast. I appreciate it. I hope you got something out of this. Get out there, live your dream, and hope you guys have a great day.